In life, you have to make many choices, such as what job you want, what food to eat, and what made it all go wrong. But let's pause and take a look back at what games shaped me as a kid and turned me into the man I am today. Huh. Let's take a step back for a moment. And yes, I'm going to be talking more about official games rather than online games that I would play, but we'll get into that later. My first look into games was the PC. You know, the thing that used to look like this. And would take an hour just to load one shitty web page. Like, come on, man, I just want to listen to his world. Now, I didn't start off with official games as you would say, but more of website games, such as Land Before Time Activity Center. Where did it all go wrong? Now, I know what you're thinking. Land Before Time, what are you, a fossil? And my answer is, yes. Now, this game wasn't anything special, but to a 4-year-old like me, this was peak gaming. I remember my teacher would help me log into it every time I went to computer class in kindergarten, and I was blown away. I mean, just look at it. I would spend hours on this. Sure, I knew what computers games were, but never really how they worked. I would just get on, play this for a while, then get off, leaving the program running. Like, I don't know what to do. I only knew how to play the game and barely that. Moving on, my next look into games was SpongeBob and the Atari Plug and Play, or to be more precise, the Mrs. Pac-Man Plug and Play. The Mrs. Pac-Man one was fun, having a few games like Miss Pac-Man and Mappy. But can we just take a second to appreciate how hyped the music is in Mappy? Like, holy shit. Anyways, this was fun, but after a while I got bored. But what I really spent all my time was the SpongeBob Plug and Play. This thing was great. I mean, it had SpongeBob and... yeah, that was about it. I'm pretty sure my parents got this for me because it was SpongeBob and I love SpongeBob, so at this time it was peak gaming, but until it slowly wasn't. After a while, I just slowly kind of forgot about video games and went more into toys and stuffed animals. I mean, don't get me wrong, games were cool, but if this is all it had to offer, then I'd rather just play something else. Which brings us to our next introduction, the Wii. And oh man, I was just getting started. My first game on Wii was, you guessed it, Wii Sports. I would play tennis and bowling, and yeah, that was really about it, but I would also play golf. But I was too young to know the rules, so I just kept hitting the ball into the water over and over again. But then came Wii Sports Resort. Oh yeah, baby, we're getting the big times now. I enjoy Wii Sports Resort a lot more than the original. I mean, you had sword fighting, flying, and table tennis. Yeah, it was fun, but you had to have the stupid Wii Motion Plus accessory to be able to play games. Which means if you wanted to play 2-player, you'd need another Wii remote with another Wii Motion Plus, which I didn't have. So I would spend my time playing the sword fight game mode the most. I got my next game when I was at some store and I saw a small Wii aisle of games and saw SpongeBob Truth or Square. And I was like, Zam, SpongeBob on Wii, so naturally I bought it and played the absolute fuck out of this game. Sure, it was hard as hell for my little 5-year-old self, but that didn't stop me. I played this game every day. At the time, this was my favorite game, of course. We later got some more games like Just Dance 3, Truth or Lies. Oh. But SpongeBob still held in strong. But there's another side to the story. You see, a year back I had the miracle of finding out what Sonic the Hedgehog was. So, before I was playing SpongeBob and getting into the Wii, I would go on the family computer and play Sonic Flash games. Games such as Sonic Advance 2, Sonic Final Fantasy, and a few others, along with a few Mario games like Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga and Super Mario World. So I was already familiar with Sonic and Mario, of course. I took the side of Sonic more, but still I like both. And that's when I found the amazing Sonic song called Sonic His World. I love this song. I'd never heard anything like it. I would have my sister get on YouTube for me just to listen to this song over and over and over again on the family PC. That's when I found out that Sonic had games outside of just websites. I didn't know where or how, but I had to have them. So after buying a bunch of Sonic toys from Toys R Us, we stopped by the Toys R Us gaming aisle, and I was in awe. There were so many Wii games, I didn't know where to start until I found a stand full of Sonic titles for the Wii. They had Sonic Black Knight, Secret Rings, and Sonic Unleashed. So you best believe I wiped all my money out and bought all 3 games. I did it. I finally got the only Sonic games in existence. Right? Right? Yeah, I had no clue that Sonic had been around for a lot longer than I thought. And now as an adult, I realized that not only are there way more Sonic games, but I probably got the worst ones. But that didn't stop me. I beat all the Sonic in the Black Knight and most of Sonic Unleashed. To be fair, controls didn't bother me too much growing up. I mean, just look at my collection. Clearly I didn't care. But now I realize how bad these games are to control. They're so loose and stiff at the same time. Either way, I still love them. But oh man, Sonic and the Secret Rings, mostly I just played the party mode, and I would just keep watching the intro because I thought it was so cool. But actually, the game, I never made it past level 4. Later down the line, I did realize the amazing Sonic games I would watch on YouTube were actually from the Xbox 360. So you know, that was fun. But skipping ahead, I got a few more games like Donkey Kong Country 2, which I loved, but it was definitely a one-sided relationship. I got some more games like Sonic and Mario at the Olympic Winter Games, Star Wars Lego, which I loved, and Sonic Zero Gravity. Fuck this game. All in all, my game library was going great. I later got a copy of Animal Crossing City Folks for my birthday, which I was skeptical. I mean, what kid wants to pay a mortgage? But I did eventually come back around to see this game, but not before I got the next game I'm about to talk about that changed my life. So one day I was at a friend's house, aka my cousin, and we were playing Skyward Sword on the Wii, when he pulled out a copy of New Super Mario Bros. Wii. I was in shock. I was like, that's the game I've always wanted. I used to watch gameplay videos on it all the time, but you see, my little 6-year-old ass was confused. You see, the game I was talking about was New Super Mario Bros. On the DS, which I confused with New Super Mario Bros. On the Wii. I just thought they were the same game, but nonetheless, I wanted it bad. So after seeing how hard I was getting over this game, he just gave it to me. Why not? He said to me, "You want it?" And I was like, yeah. So he gave it to me for free, because why not? I was ecstatic, and right as soon as I got home, I played this game non-stop. Like, I'm not kidding. I would literally go to bed at 9 and wake up at 4 to play this game. And yeah, I mean 4 in the morning. Just to go downstairs and boot up the Wii to play this. My dad would come down about to go to work and just see my dumb-year-old ass playing Wrecking House and Mario. And this continued for months. I didn't even care if I beat the game. I would replay my favorite levels over and over again. That, of course, wasn't until I got Super Mario Galaxy 2. I was shocked. It was Mario in 3D. What more could a child want? I played this game a bunch, not as much as the other Mario game, of course. I eventually stopped waking up super early to play Mario. I would instead just wait till the sun actually rose up. Either way, I loved this game. It was super hard to beat, but I didn't care. If I got stuck, I would just return to a level I did like. I didn't officially beat the game until I was 17, so you know, that's something. But I didn't care. It was just about enjoying the world and finding things to do. Never really about the actual story or conclusion, like it is nowadays, but instead just about the journey. Instead, just taking your time, going slow and steady, really take in everything. A lesson I think I should take nowadays. But no time for that now, because our next game was Rayman, along with Super Smash Bros. Brawl, and I can't be the only one that thought these two games were a little suggestive for the Wii. Either way, I would play those two a bunch, either with friends or just by myself. I used to make up fake stories while playing Smash Bros, so I guess I was doing fanfic at a young age too. But the next game is a biggie. This one sparked another life-changing era for me, and that's when I got the game Kirby Returns to Dreamland. But hey, let's back it up for a bit. Before I got this game for Christmas, I would watch Kirby Right Back At Ya, as well as watch Kirby fan animations on YouTube. So I was going nuts for Kirby. So imagine my surprise when I found out Kirby has a game on the Wii. I was freaking out, but then realized it wasn't exactly cheap, so there was no chance of me buying this. Which means I would just have to wait for a holiday. Which you can imagine my shock when my aunt of all people whipped out this bad boy. I instantly slapped that baby in and played it till I was purple. Yes, this game was super hard for me, or maybe I just sucked, who knows, but either way, I was very determined to beat it, and beat it I did. The ending was glorious, and I just had to share this masterpiece with anyone, someone. So after bugging my family and found out no one cared, I turned to my best friend, who I had to beat the final level with. And boy, was it a journey. I could play this game again and again. 10 out of 10. The next game that impacted me was kind of a mixed game. It was Disney Infinity, which I wanted bad, but when I finally got it, me and my sister would play it constantly, buying characters from Toys R Us whenever we got a chance. Even if there's mixed feelings on it, I think the game was pretty good at the time. And of course, I also rented some games from Blockbuster. Yes, that's how old I am. I used to shop at Blockbuster. But besides that, after a few more Wii games, I drifted back into where it all began, the PC. I was looking up some Sonic games one day and found Sonic Adventure 2 on this place called Steam for $10. I had no idea you could buy games on the PC and play them without a console. So naturally, I was drawn to look further into it, which led me to buy Sonic Adventure 2 on Steam. I remember I bought this game late at night, so I had to go to bed before I could play it, and I had school the next day. Which means I would have to wait even longer, so to avoid this, I woke up an hour earlier to play. That means I got up at 5 to be able to play this game. Oh boy, how we've come full circle. It was great. Sure, I sucked at keyboard controls, but it was Sonic on PC, officially. What more could you want? Although I couldn't get past the water knuckle segment, it's mostly because of the controls, I still really like the game. But after finding out I can buy games on the PC, I decided to get Gmod, which is a game that turned me into a PC gamer. I would watch Gmod videos a lot when I was younger till I found out where the videos actually came from was a game called Gmod that you could buy on Steam. Finally, a game where I could really express myself. After getting Gmod, I barely touched my Wii. I would play Gmod every day. I would occasionally play the Wii still, but then go straight back to the PC. Until my birthday came around, I got a Wii U with Mario Maker. And I know the Wii U isn't the best console, but I really liked it. I just really wanted to play the new Nintendo games that were coming out. And I wasn't old enough for a big boy console yet, so the Wii U it is. The Wii U was great, even though I thought it was a portable console, only to find out you can't separate it from the main console. It was a bit disappointing, but I didn't care. I still played it every day, completely forgot about the PC, and by forgetting I mean my Steam account got deleted, so you know, you win some, you lose some. Mario Maker and Smash Bros were definitely my favorite games on the system until I got Breath of the Wild. That's when I realized how good games can be. Now, yes, I was a little upset the Switch came out a year after I got my Wii U, but as long as I could still play Breath of the Wild, I didn't care. Next is my 2DS XL that I got, and by far my favorite game on it was Tamagotchi Life. Never really cared for portable game consoles that much, that's why I never really got into the DS, but still enjoyed the 2DS XL. Even if it was a bit disappointing, couldn't pair it with my Wii U. Even if it was a bit disappointing, I couldn't pair it with the Wii U to play games on the TV like the GameCube could, but either way it was fine. And now, technically, this is where the story ends for my kid's side of gaming. I mean, technically, I did have a GBA, which I played Pokemon Leaf Green on, but after this, I moved on to Xbox One and PlayStation 4, and the Switch, and only really played more mature games like Red Dead Redemption 2 and God of War. But that doesn't mean I didn't still return to these old consoles. So I guess the moral of the story is, make the most out of your time as a kid, because one day you might look back and say, wow, I had a shitty taste in games.